Well, hey there, folks. I'm meteorologist Matt Barentine. Hope you're having yourself a good day here on your Wednesday. It's going to be another very hot day. Air you can wear, boy, you can feel that humidity out there. Very sultry and hot again today. The funny thing is, though, it's actually going to be cooler. I mean, we saw heat index values on Tuesday and Monday and Tuesday this week. 115, 116, 118, even 120 was recorded in Thomasville on Tuesday afternoon. Incredible heat. Intense heat. We're backing away from that, but we still have a heat advisory today because it's still going to be, 105 to 109, maybe with 110 with the heat indexes out there today. We'll get some scattered afternoon storms. That should help us out. Here is that heat index forecast like I was talking about. I mean, it's still up to around 110 today, so extremely hot. It'll stay high for the next several days as well. Yeah, it's just been really rough lately, and it's going to continue to be very rough. Now, the actual heat dome is now to the west of us. So we're not directly under the heat dome. So our highs today will actually end up being a few degrees less than what they were earlier in the week. So we've had mid to upper 90s both Monday and Tuesday. Our Wednesday probably lower 90s. So several degrees lower with the temperatures. But if you look at how this thing works, the heat dome, moisture goes around it in a clockwise direction around the outside of the heat dome. And right now we're in that moisture flow. We're not directly underneath the heat dome, but we're getting that moisture flow. So our humidity is actually increased. So our temperatures will come down a bit, but our humidity has actually gone up. And it's really at about the highest level we can be at. And obviously I've been doing this for decades now. It's very rare to get our dew points above 80. And that's about where we're at in a lot of places today, right around 79, 80 with the dew points. That is extremely high. And that's why we're going to have these kind of heat index numbers I'm about to show you. First off, here's the actual temperatures. Like I said, the temperatures are actually a few degrees lower today on our Wednesday than they were the last couple of days. 92 in Mobile, 91 in Pensacola, 93 in Atmore. Once again, these are several degrees lower than the last couple of days. But then once you factor in the humidity, I still anticipate us getting to around 109, 110 in a lot of spots out there today. So because of the humidity levels being so high, the heat index values are still extremely high as well. The reason why it works out like that, it's all, keep in mind, heat index, these numbers you're seeing right here, these aren't real temperatures, they're a formula. And so how they derive these is you take your temperature, your highs, whatever it's going to be, 92, 93, 94, you take the temperature, and then you take the humidity. And there's a formula there. And the higher the humidity, the hotter it's going to feel. And the reason why it works out like that is because our body's natural air conditioning is sweating, evaporative cooling. When we sweat, that sweat evaporates off our skin. That provides cooling for us. But when it's really hot and it's really humid, when the air is that saturated, your sweat has a very hard time evaporating. If it doesn't evaporate, you just feel hotter and hotter. That's where the formula comes in. And it's really the heat index where people get in trouble. Because it could be 100 degrees in Arizona and there's no heat index on top of that, and it's not too bad. I mean, as long as you're in, especially if you're in the shade, you'll be okay. Because you can sweat, you'll cool off. But when you have a heat index over 100 degrees, then you start to get up to like 110 or 115, even like we've been seeing lately. That is oppressively hot. Once again, your body cannot cool itself off very well, and that's why we get heat advisories for heat index values, even though the temperatures won't be as hot today. Here's a future cast. I do anticipate a number of scattered showers and storms around today, so those will help. That could cool off a few folks out there today. You know how these things are, briefly heavy, a lot of lightning. Then as we go into the evening, they just fizzle out. So they'll be scattered about. They're hit and miss. We know how pop-up storms do here in the summertime. You not necessarily get them today, but you may very well. Once again, low 90s is what we're looking at for highs today. Like I said, it could be hotter. We were hotter the last couple of days, but once again, the humidity is just so high out there for us on our Wednesday. Ripcord risk is low, so this is good news all through the week and going into the weekend. Yellow flags flying at our beaches along with purple flags. Purple flags are for the jellyfish, so we do have jellyfish out there to watch out for. The boating forecast, got neap tides out there, and really pretty much good conditions all week long for boating as well, especially in the mornings. The mornings will be pretty calm out there and looking pretty good. So if you want to get the boat out, I don't see any issues here this week. In the tropics, no issues here as well. We're looking good for the next week. That said, The long range models keep hinting at some development in the long range, like say late next week. It's too early. I mean, they're kind of all over the place at this point because it's so far out and there's not really a whole lot for them to grab onto. But once we start getting a more clarity with that and we start seeing some, more consistency about the best way to put it with the modeling, and then we'll start bringing that into the discussion. But for now, don't worry about it. I mean, when we move into August anyway, we're going to have some of that one way or the other. Activity will pick up. So it's not really a surprise, just something we'll keep an eye on for you. Here's the long range forecast. Very little changes here over the next 7 days. Now, some of the models do give us slightly drier air towards the end of the weekend and the beginning of next week, which will drive down our morning temperatures in the low 70s for a couple of days. So we may get a little bit of humidity relief, a little bit, but don't expect a whole lot. And I don't expect that to last very long either, one way or the other either. So, here it is. We'll go ahead and go full screen so you can see all the numbers here. As we go into the weekend, scattered showers and storms, highs in the lower 90s. That's really just the way it's going to be for the most part over the next 7 days. Thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 10.